Friends and subscribers, this is China News for September 2013. What's happening in the Middle Kingdom? Well, more gold and silver buying, physical. It's a holiday this month and another holiday next month. So during holidays, what do Chinese and other nationalities and cultures do? Well, a lot of them buy physical gold, silver, diamonds, jewelry, and that type of gift. And China is definitely one place that buys a lot of these things. What you see in the picture is a coin shop jewelry store in Nanjing, China, and the girl there is holding two silver and gold moon cakes because this is autumn, mid-autumn festival time, and moon cakes are popular here. So what do? They make a medallion or a round like a moon cake, and they are popular to buy, and definitely that's where the creativity is, like I've said so many other times. Physical gold and silver, jade, diamonds, these are the things of real value, hard assets, and the Chinese love to buy them on the holidays. Very lovely. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, even in China. Growing rich Chinese middle class lured by the sparkle of the prized gem. More and more people buying gold and silver, obviously, but also moving into the realm of diamonds, which is another hard asset that you can buy, but doesn't have quite the same properties as gold and silver do. Yet it is an encouraging sign that Chinese are moving more into hard assets, whether it be diamonds or jade or whatever, rather than buying into a overheated stock market or banks that have some problems with their lending practices, especially with micro lending and community lending and social lending and things like that, social banking. It's still quite old-fashioned here. People like hard assets, and that's what they take their extra money and invest on. Some hard assets, travel, physical things like houses or cars or small businesses. And that part of the culture is not going to change. It's kind of ingrained in Chinese culture that they enjoy having real things. It's an encouraging sign going forward. And finally, in what can be seen as another very humorous and head-scratching news story, Shanghai Electric Company denies dead men were its employees. 3 men were found dead underground last week, and they were wearing Shanghai Electric uniforms and helmets. When the police found them, they reported them to Shanghai Electric, who denied that the employees or so-called employees had been working for them at that time in that area. What they did find, however, that these men were cutting wires from underground. They were using these manhole covers and these accesses to underground facilities and tunnels to cut wires and to take metal and anything that they can sell for profit. So they were tramps. They were basically migrant workers that had an idea and tried to make money off the things they could extract from any utilities underground. The only problem is they died because the fumes down there from the sewer and other things down there were so strong that the men essentially suffocated. And so this story is very humorous and a little bit tragic, but only in China can something like this happen. In another news story over the bizarre and somewhat humorous, the hospital in Beijing Cancer Hospital, no longer needs virgins. Up until now, the hospital in Beijing, the cancer center, was only accepting blood for virgins for some of these tests for HPV serums and things of that nature. Now, why they would only need virgins to do these tests is beyond me. And secondly, how would they know for sure if the girls that are being tested are in fact virgins? Another bizarre story out of China that it really scratches the head as far as, are they serious with this? Is this something that they actually believe in? These tests, any difference with these tests if the girl is of age or not. It really is dumbfounding. One area of growth, both domestically in China and abroad, is the area of education. As you know, Chinese spend a lot of money on their children's education, and this is all the way up through college and even some graduate school. More and more Chinese are studying abroad and paying fees to foreign colleges and universities and high schools and primary schools to get an edge on a growing competitive job market. This is a boon for any companies that are involved in education, and the same goes for foreigners coming to China to study at a much lower rate than it would be in their home. Gives them an opportunity to learn some Mandarin and to network and to make more connections in Asia, as the job market is stronger here than it is in the West. So even though the economy slows down, you can always rely on education to be strong regardless of the overall economic struggles of many nations, because the skill sets of China Inc.'s $5 billion Kazakh oil deal is just another example of how China's building a new Silk Road. And we see many of these countries throughout the Middle East and in Asia making deals with the Chinese so that they can get oil, and these countries can get some kind of deal as far as investment opportunities in China and money and things of that nature, even some of them trying to get a boom in tourism. Oil and gas deals, including building oil refineries in Kazakhstan, are among 32 agreements worth some $30 billion reached by Xi Jinping during his short term so far as the leader of China. These deals will continue to increase, and the Silk Road will continue to grow. The new Silk Road, which I've commented on many times, which really starts from China here, goes all the way through Chongqing and Chengdu, all the way out to Central Asia, into the Middle East, and hopefully they think to Europe. And that's their economic plan going forward. Soft power, grow markets, grow the economy, grow influence worldwide through these means, while they continue to build up the military by investing record amounts of money in it. Gun control in China. A local man spent 16,050 yuan on buying 2 replica pistols. He was going to display them in his office as something of an art piece or whatever. As you know, guns are illegal in China. Before he even was able to accept delivery and display the guns, the police were all over him and confiscated the guns and fined him. Now, how did the police know that he had ordered these replica guns? And secondly, if they're replicas, they have no opportunity to hurt anybody, as they're just simply art pieces. And if they're being legally sold online at popular retailers such as Taobao, then how would the police have any say in the matter? This is kind of a scary type of news story when we're talking about gun control all around the world, even here in China, right? Making them illegal. The police said that they have the potential to cause harm. How would a fake gun have the potential to cause harm when it cannot fire a round? China now to punish web users who spread rumors online. This is going to be a bit of a problem, and kind of humorous to me myself, because the only real news that you get in China is on the internet by people that will leak information or discuss potential rumors online. So if the Chinese government is cracking down on that, what it really says is that they're trying to suppress the truth. And for companies that do this, they get fines based on the revenue that they have. For people that spread rumors online that are caught, it may be a slap on the wrist, or it could be as serious as a labor camp, a re-education camp, which, by the way, is still operating in China, all through China. Don't kid yourself on any social progress here. There are still re-education camps, and many people that do spread rumors, so-called rumors, or the truth, whistleblowers, are disappeared. And that is a fact in China. So this push to punish web users is something that's happening globally. Okay, I've told you many times that the West likes the Chinese model. The powers that be love the Chinese model because it gives them great amount of economic control and success and regulation of markets, and gives people, human beings, the general public, citizens, very little ability to have any social freedoms or control over what's going on. And so you'll see more and more the rhetoric out of China and the rhetoric out of the West, U.S. Most significantly, to be very similar to each other, because in the end they're all serving the same master. They're all trying to stay in power, and they all want more control over what is becoming a very unstable world. Exports seen a rise of 7.2% recently amid economic recovery. China, of course, talking about economic recovery just as the U.S. and Europe are, but nothing could be further from the truth. There's a brief increase in the good news for the short-term economic data, but long-term it is gloomy. Some here say that there may be a duality in inflation, where you'll have some prices of commodities going very, very high, while others being more manageable in the 2 to 3% range. It depends on if you're talking housing, you're talking food, which is subsidized in China, or you're talking import-export goods. It's not really an apples-to-apples comparison, especially when you have the central government that regulates and supplements some of these areas of commerce. War America in the front pages here. This is a protest against the war in Syria that we all know about by now. And in China, their stance is hands off Syria, just as the majority of people really in the United States feel that way. And so China has sent as many ships as they can over to that theater of potential war to show solidarity with Russia and Syria and several other countries with their stance on any possible UN or US related strike on a sovereign nation that has diplomatic ties with many countries around the world. Friendly diplomatic ties, by the way. The verdict is in, and it's no surprise. Bo Xilai, the Chongqing power broker and leading politician in the party, has been sentenced to life in prison. This leaves a chance for parole down the road, as Bo is betting that the Chinese central government will eventually collapse, either through revolution, new leadership, or imploding. In any event, it's possible to have a second life in the East, and Bo is betting on that. Among the points of discussion in the trial was some between 20 and 30 million worth of bribes that were used to convict Bo, among other things. Most people in China do know that this is probably more of a power consolidation and power broking deal with Xi Jinping, trying to keep Bo Xilai and his faction from holding on to the power that they do have. And they're going to continue to clean house, so you'll see many high-profile indictments and convictions here in the coming year. That is for sure. And it's all about consolidating the Xi Jinping faction and averting any kind of competition in the Central Party, because this is a time when China cannot afford to have different factions in the party with so many problems of the Chinese people and challenges coming up in the 21st century.